Also, another little factoid to round off this week of serious bad luck for this family. When the family's heads were removed to be studied in the autopsy, they lost the heads. So that meant the family had to be buried headless.
Dude, it's 1922.
How do you
Things
lose?
get lost.
That's 6 heads. That's so many heads. How do you lose that many heads?
Government, man. If anything, that goes against the ghost theory because there's already recorded history of it being easy for people to get up onto the roof. Therefore, it must have been easy for her to get up onto the roof.
Let me check to see if it's actually the roof or if it's just jumping.
Oh, okay. Now you're changing your story because it doesn't fit your designed ghost story package. You see, you can't just
I'm gonna check.
change the facts in order to...
I'm gonna serve you up a fresh truth pancake right now. We'll see how you like it. Hold on.
I do like pancakes.
Jump to their desk from the building. Never says the roof.
So if I step on a fly, does the fly's ghost stay around?
Well, I mean, this is assuming that a fly is capable of complex thought.
All right, what about a dog or a dolphin?
I don't think that's impossible that there could be a ghost dolphin or dog.
So you think somewhere along the line, evolutionarily, there was the first animal that was able to turn into a ghost and that somehow benefited them?
All right. In 2014. However, there was no evidence of a Yeti, and furthermore, I can't imagine a Yeti taking the time to cover its tracks.
Either way, everyone knows that the Yeti is a peaceful creature.
Not according to Russian Yeti, the killer lives. The last theory I'm gonna go over is pretty silly.
Aliens! Finally, I believe you. Yes, of course. Together, working at last. 3.9 miles to the gas station.
How did we run out of gas?
2 miles.
Get out of my way, truck.
1 mile.
Any second now, we're gonna stop moving.
The shell's there.
I'm gonna coast through the stop sign. Oh no, come on!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Yeah!
Oh my god!
Get the fuck out of my way!
It's just the wind.
Yes, right here.
It's the wind!
You're not freaked out a little bit right now?
No!
What the fuck, dude?
It's the wind! You want me to close the window?
Yeah, let's close the windows. Fuck this shit.
If anything, that will make someone easier to hear footsteps that sneak up on us.
Fuck, you're right. Let's open the windows. In the fall, just before the house fire, a life insurance salesman came to the house, and when he saw that his sale wasn't going to be successful, he became infuriated, yelling at George, quote, "Your goddamn house is going up in smoke, and your children are going to be destroyed. You're going to be paid for the dirty remarks you have been making about Mussolini," end quote.
Ryan, I think we've solved it. All right, well, it's been fun. See you later.
I will set this house on fire, and your children are going to die. Huh. Yeah, who could it be? Yes. Who could have done this?
Tearing type wounds with missing tissue, end quote, as the body was missing most of its right leg.
That's a shark, baby. I know, I've seen Jaws at least 6 times. That's a shark.
Well, not so fast.
Huh?
Don't jump to conclusions.
I'm jumping. I've jumped. I've landed. Shark. It's a shark.
Just keep in mind, things may not be what they appear.
Huh?
Sometimes people will claim things in an effort to make themselves seem more accomplished in that field, I suppose.
Well, none of us are impressed.
No,
Serial
I'm not
killers.
impressed. Yeah, that's gonna really let it sink in. They're gonna see this video and be like, he's right. Pack it up. You know what? What are we doing?
Stop it.
You're really hitting at their heart right now.
Stop it.
Keep going. Maybe you'll make a difference.
Stop serial killing.
Furthermore, the chute that was functional was a military chute that was not steerable. He's kind of starting to sound like an idiot.
A little bit.
The whole time he's like, yeah, bourbon soda. Bomb. Here's your note. I'm a cool guy. Sunglasses. Jumps out the plane. Splat.
It's not a splat. I think a pine tree just... just like, no.
Kill me.
Little squirrel runs up to him.
Get out of here! One thing is certain, and that is some of those persons who do not jazz it on Tuesday night, if there be any, will get the axe.
Jazz it!
Quote.
You better jazz it!
He turned jazz into
Honey,
a...
we gotta jazz it.
He turned jazz into a
I'm not
verb.
gonna throw out this axe, so we better jazz it. He's a bit like Santa Claus.
Okay, I'd like
First
to
of
hear
all, he says he's gonna pass over New Orleans. That's a bit magical. Just imagine him flying through the skies with his big axe, riding a crocodile or an alligator, whatever they got.
Or a demon.
Traveling on demon's wings and just looking down at all the little houses, listening for jazz. It's like the good enough.
So he's like the Grinch trying to listen to the Whoville people sing.
Exactly right.
I still don't understand how he's Santa Claus. Santa Claus never bashed anyone's head in with a big sack of toys.
That's true. But he does give him coal.
What?
Dump a hat, dump a boy.
People dump things in lots.
Yeah.
There's a boy in a box in a lot.
Also, not always intentionally. You lose a hat in a lot.
Well, I'm pretty sure the boy in the box was dumped there intentionally.
That's probably intentional.
No one's like dragging a boy in the box and then like, as they get home, they're like, I'm forgetting something.
Janet, we left the box. Our boy was in that box.
He was promptly questioned by the police and given a mental health assessment. He spent 5 hours at the station before he was escorted out by a family member and gave the waiting media the finger. Though, Mark would later publicly apologize for, quote, the hurt and concern caused by these events, end quote.
Rude of him to act like it's no big deal. Of course people want to know what the hell's going on with you.
Oh yeah, excuse the public for wondering about your safety, sir.
It does make me realize I don't give people the middle finger enough. Like if someone's like, hey, you want to grab some salads for lunch today? Be like,
It's meaner without the noise, I think.
So it's just kind of be like, is that better?
That's better. See?
Right.
Yeah, that's how Adam Sandler made his career.
Yeah, basically.
Basically, by making fart noises and funny faces.
Oh.
One curious fact is that the sum of $118,000 was close to the amount that John Ramsey received for a bonus that year. That's when you asked the question about the specificity of the number.
Yeah,
There it is.
I've connected the two dots.
You didn't connect shit, but
I've connected them.
However, the International Group for Historic Aircraft Recovery, aka TIGAR, used Hoodless's original measurements of the bones and today's updated databases to determine the bones could have also belonged to a taller than average woman of European descent. And Earhart was said to be 5'7" or 5'8".
That's like a foot taller than you.
I knew you were gonna say that. I'm 5'10", by the way, so. No, there's no quotes there.
Well, when you wear your special shoes, yes, you're 5'10".
Nope, that's from the doctor.
Yes, your shoes are from the doctor.
No, no, they're not.
Yeah, they
I'm
are.
5'10", damn it.
Weird back then that you could just pretend to be someone.
You could still do that today.
Nah.
I bet you I could check into a hotel right now and say, my name is Ricky Goldsworth.
But then they're gonna say, oh, do you have a credit card, sir?
And I'll be like, oh yeah, this is my my friend. I'm just putting it's just a deposit,
That's
right? You're
not gonna fly.
charge.
They're gonna put handcuffs on you right away. Where'd you grow up, Ricky Goldsworth?
Oh, I grew up down the road.
Where? No, what city?
Oh, New York City.
You grew up in New York
This
City.
is happening in New York now.
What's your mother's name, Ricky Goldsworth?
Lucy Goldsworth.
What's her maiden name?
Lucy Gold.
See, crumbling.
Well, I wouldn't stumble like that. I'd have a prepared response. And
You'd be
they'd
firing them off?
be firing him off, and I'd be like, what's the fucking holdup? I'm trying to check into a room, and you're giving me a goddamn inquisition? Is this how you treat all your customers?
All right.
Who do you think you are?
That's fair.
Huh?
Okay,
and I
that's
poke
fair.
him in the chest like this. Huh?
At this point, I'm giving you a room. All right? You did it. You win. You win, Ricky.
I guess if she's spent her whole life being afraid of water and she can't swim,
Probably put on a life vest
well,
or
why
something.
would she even attempt to
Or
do
even
this?
attempt. In her nightgown, no less. In
Yeah.
her nightgown, no less.
That's why it's strange. I guess when I'm drunk, I
I've
attempt
done
to-
some stupid things.
I guess I would attempt to do things that I'm scared of, but going back to my fear of bears, I would never go, hey, let me go pet this bear.
No, I wouldn't. One of my greatest fears, I think I've said this before, is that someone will trick me into doing heroin.
Which is the dumbest fear I've ever heard in my life.
It
I
would
can't
be
even
against
ima-
my will.
How many situations could even put you up to that potential danger?
I don't know. All it takes
How many
is
parties are you going to with heroin involved?
none. But
It seems like a lot.
It's not the fear that I'm at a party. It's a fear that someone would come up to me on the street and put heroin in me, and then I'm hooked forever.
What the fuck? We always refer to the Wild West as, just being this crazy time of crime. You could actually get away with a lot of shit in
Wild West was
a
the
matter of
80s.
A couple, yeah, essentially, it's a couple decades ago. You could get away with a bunch of shit.
Walk into a store, pocket of cola.
You could pocket a cola, punch the guy in the face,
Yeah, and
then be like, see you later.
My name's Shane Madej. Fuck you. Cops wouldn't get to your door for weeks.
Yeah, fingerprinting wasn't really around that much.
No.
There was no surveillance cameras. They'd have to go off a description, and for you, it'd be tall white guy with a large head, and that's a lot of people in Chicago,
That's a
I
lot
imagine.
of people in Chicago.
Look at the scene of the crime. It's tough to fathom how they could have slept through such a tragedy. It's very hard for me to believe that 3 people could have been asleep while it was happening in the same fucking house.
The woods get loud, though, is my only thing.
But you're in a cabin.
In a cabin. Were they in the same cabin in the
In the
room
same
next
cabin.
door?
So maybe they were in there telling ghost stories or something.
I don't think they were. They were probably asleep.
They could have. I mean, they could have been in there telling ghosts. You know how kids do, pillow talk, stuff like that.
That's not what pillow talk is, I don't think.
That's what it was for me, telling ghost stories. Pillow talk
Like-
could either mean something you do after sex, or it could mean
Yeah, I think that's
it
what
could
that
mean
is.
what's like a sleepover.
Do you tell
talk.
ghost stories after sex?
That's for me and my girlfriend to know. Maybe.
You just spark up a cigarette. Let me tell you about the Keddie Cabin murders.
Secret Servicemen sent in advance to check out the route noted that there were over 20,000 windows overlooking the route. But since they didn't have enough men to station at every window, they opted to inspect none of the windows along the route.
Not a good alternative.
I know, there's far too many. Fuck it. You know, just call it a day. Well,
We don't have enough guys to look at all these windows. What if we just don't do shit? Sounds like a good idea.
but sir, the president's going to be coming to town. He won't care.
What are they gonna do? Shoot him?
She was disemboweled. It was determined she had only been dead for about a half hour, meaning the killer was likely nearby when Cross first saw the body.
Now, how did they, at this point in time, I don't know what their forensics are like, how do they know what a half hour is? Do they just sort of like,
I mean, he just goes over.
let's see, that's half hour blood right there.
Yeah, that's 30 minutes. Maybe they had a bloodhound? I don't know.
That's not what bloodhounds.
No, I don't know. I know bloodhounds use to track things, but
You don't feed them blood and they don't.
you don't feed bloodhounds bags of blood?
You feed a bloodhound some blood and
it
it
goes-
barks for every minute.
And it goes, A positive, universal donor.
Dead for 30 minutes.
The FBI claim that security guard Richard E. Abbott has not been ruled out as a suspect. The suspicion goes beyond Abbott being poor at his job. As mentioned before, Abbott notably could not recall the faces of the robbers shortly after the heist.
I don't know how I would describe your face to someone. I'd just say,
Yeah.
You had a nose, sort of looks like a cartoon gopher.
Yeah, if I had to describe yours, I would say, first off, do you have some paper that could fold out? Because you're going to need a lot of real estate to cover this guy's head.
Yeah.
It's huge. Probably the size of most barn doors. Torso killer murders would have resulted in a large amount of blood evidence. So, how could Sweeney have carried out those murders in these offices without eventually being caught?
Spread out your tarps and just.
Because I imagine it would be pretty hard to explain this. I know this looks bad.
He's got a head cold. Yeah, she had wigs, she had codes, she had passports.
She switched hotels. She wanted people not to follow her.
Yeah, of course she was murdered.
Yeah, that just makes sense.
Idiots.
I know. I felt like it was rather clear.
Yeah. I mean, the person, if they were murdering her, why not just shoot him? I guess then maybe they trace the bullet to your gun. I don't know.
Yeah, well, you're not exactly, I would say, the pinnacle of espionage.
I could be.
I don't think you could be.
Look, I'll wear fake mustaches. I'll wear a wig. People won't know it's me.
So you're going to wear a mustache is going to cover up your 8-foot limbs? Is that how it's going
No, there's plenty of tall people in the world. If I wear a mustache and a wig and say, hello, I'm Banjo McClintock, nobody will know. Well, they'll think I'm a different person.
I don't think so. I think I'd make a better spy.
I don't think you would.
Yeah, just from a physical requirement.
No.
Yeah.
You'd be shaken.
No. Well, quote, the jury convicted me, and they gave me 2 years. But I'll tell you what, I'll never go to jail. I'll appeal and get off. I've been fighting the law since I was 13, and I'm damn near 50. I've been arrested for over 53 felonies, and this is the first one I ever lost, end quote.
Unbelievable. The showboating
The
here.
braggadocio of this man right here is staggering. This is the problem with the man who, I guess, believes in his own myth.
Yeah.
And is especially when that man is capable of cruelty.
He's Icarus, baby.
He is Icarus.
Yeah.
And guess what? This bad boy's about to fly towards the sun. Soon after he was released, McElroy, bizarrely, was spotted with a rifle and bayonet at the town's local bar, D&G Tavern, where he was allegedly making graphic threats about murdering Bo Bowenkamp. So he follows it up.
So this isn't
Icarus flying too close to the sun.
He's flying into the sun.
Yeah, this is Icarus turning 90 degrees, looking at the sun, and playing chicken with it.
So it very well likely could be him. They just never were able to catch him. He's a greasy one.
They just couldn't find him.
I mean, it's 1920s. It must be harder to find people.
Yeah, I guess you just go find a tree to sit under somewhere.
Yellow pages.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think you're pretty fucked once he gets past the state border.
Move to a new town, tell me, hi there, my name's Ricky Goldsworth.
Ricky Goldsworth.
You know, if you ever get tired of doing this, you can just move to a new town, tell them your name is Ricky Goldsworth, and you're done. You're set for life.
Yeah, I'd tell them that. I want the top house. I want the top room.
You can't just move into a town.
No.
So you can't just move into a town and take a house.
I don't think you heard me.
What?
I want the best house in your neighborhood, and I want it stocked with food,
Sir,
furnished, and I want servants as well. I want butlers, and you're going to be one of them.
Sir, you can't. I'm not going to be I'm the mayor, sir.
No, that's not how this is going down.
Oh, shit.
Your outfit's in my car. I'll expect you at my house later, 8 a.m. Leave the keys under the mat.
Yes, sir, Mr. Goldsworth. Good Goldsworth. What a story. Goldsworth. It's really coming into his own.
You talking to me? And furthermore, they did not seem to question Albert's testimony regarding seeing Louis board the train. Laurie Snyder, Louis's great-great-granddaughter, once again doubts this theory, basing her beliefs on Lizzie LaPrince's memoirs, which depict a close, loving family. Authors Ulas and Fend also note that there is no evidence to support this theory, and emphasize that Albert's family strongly denies it.
All right.
I just don't buy it, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
There's nothing that I looked into that proves Albert LaPrince was in any dire financial straits.
I was going to say, is there a need for money there?
There isn't.
So, yeah.
Why would he all of a sudden decide, oh, I want some extra bucks,
let me kill my brother.
Let me kill my brother and ruin his family by stripping him of his greatest invention. He killed him during life and after death then at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, they say a man dies twice.
You know, story-wise, I could see why some people believe this, sure. But when you really just think about it, nah.
It's a little too soap opera.
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it.
Okay, great.
I'm not.
You don't have to.
I'm good. It's not purchased. It's on the shelf. It's gonna stay there.
I'm not selling it.
I didn't say you were selling it. Someone is. And I'm not buying it.
This metaphor is, where are we in this?
I don't know. Father Gary Brandon even told investigators that Bobby Jamison had once called him asking about, quote, special bullets, end quote, that could be used to shoot spirits.
You're not related to this guy in any way? You looked that up?
No, but I thought, I don't know if that belongs in the cult theory. Maybe they're in a religious cult where they believe that sort of thing.
Doesn't matter. I'm glad you included it.
It does contribute to odd behavior. And for the record, I don't believe in special bullets.
Obviously, I wouldn't want to be kidnapped and murdered or mysteriously vanished from the earth. Mm-hmm. It's kind of neat to have people talk about your last known whereabouts, though.
Yeah. Like, it's like, oh, I saw Shane at the D&B. He was playing...
The Dave & Buster's?
Yeah, he was playing Flamin' Finger. And then some men came over, grabbed him by the arm.
He got on a Mercury Marquis.
Yeah, he got into a Mercury Marquis yelling, I still have tickets!
I haven't cashed out yet, bro! I'm gonna buy some disappearing ink!
He was placed in custody hours later. He agreed to testify against Marjorie for immunity. He told the police that he had been feeling incredibly guilty and at one point was considering suicide. Police found a suicide note in a desk at his home. Interestingly, the note started with, quote, this has nothing to do with the Wells case, end quote, which truly is an odd thing to say, because from an outside perspective, it has no apparent relation. My friend went to New Orleans recently, and she was like, oh, I'd love to buy a house here.
Yeah.
And one of the signs said for sale, and under that sign was a big red sign that said, not haunted.
Oh, that house is... I don't believe in ghosts, but I believe that house is haunted.
That's as weird to me as saying, this has nothing to do with this case that has nothing to do with this. Don't look into it at all. Jack and Ronald were in the clear, as there was no evidence implicating either of them in the death. But Their relationships to both Christina and each other were thoroughly exposed in the process. The police report claims that there were signs and evidence that Christina was very distressed by the, quote, unnatural conduct of her husband and Barry, end quote.
Wait a minute. Were they smooching?
Maybe. I didn't mention a love triangle up top.
A love triangle.
You were just thinking of a love triangle with Ronald and Christina.
I was doing some heteronormative bullshit.
You were. Unbelievable.
I apologize. Do you think everyone in town was also scratching their heads over were people...
It's 1945, so yeah.
Yeah, a lot to talk about then.
Probably. John William Anglin and his younger brother Clarence Anglin, both in their early 30s at the time of the escape. The brothers were serving time for robbing a bank together.
I wouldn't mind being in a jail cell with my bro.
Yeah, the thing is, like, being in prison, obviously not ideal.
Yeah.
But you got your bro there with
You got
you,
your
and they
bro.
actually were next door to each other.
That's very fun.
That's very fun.
Yeah.
That's a big bonding
I
moment.
wonder if one of them got the letter like, ooh, where are you going? And the other was like, I'm going to Alcatraz. And he was like, me too!
They just jump up and down. Like they got accepted to college together.
I don't understand how radiation poisoning works. I don't know what you're envisioning here. I am envisioning essentially a green glow stick.
Yeah, me too. Or you're envisioning like the case that Doc Brown opens in Back to the Future, and he has to put
just glowing green, them pouring the tea,
Like a
and
moon
just
rock.
a glowing green tea that he's drinking. Like,
Yeah, I imagine it's not like that.
No, probably not.
No, it's probably a little bit more.
Or like the
discreet.
ooze from Turtles 2.
Don't think it's like that either. I think it's a little more discreet. Otherwise, he would have been like, "Oh, this tea looks a little odd.
This tea looks like ooze.
It's also neon, so maybe we shouldn't drink it."
Yeah. What is this, ooze long tea? Okay, you can keep going.
I don't think you're done laughing at your own joke. You want some more time?
No,
Do you need some ooze long tea yourself? So stupid.
Yeah, funny when you say it.
Dumb. All right. Well,
You didn't poison this, did you?
I wish I did now.
Is that bad for us?
I was thinking that as I was reading this, like, oh shit, this guy is doing a better, I mean, he's essentially doing a very souped up version of what we're doing.
Yeah.
And he almost got a bullet in his head. And the only reason he didn't is because they got the wrong car.
Yeah, for the record, I'm not going to be looking into this much more after this episode.
I'm not looking
at
into
all.
After this episode
I'm
airs.
done with
I'm
it.
done with it too, yeah. I'm just reading the tale. I'm reading
Just
the tale.
read
Don't
the tale,
don't kill the
and then
messenger.
we're done with
Yeah,
it.
okay. But it would be a fruitless effort to kill us. You're not preventing anything. There's no follow-up.
There's no follow-up.
Unless they kill us before the postmortem.
Then you're just going to be drawing more attention to
If
yourself.
anything, you'll be preventing the hot dog that's next installment, which, oh no.
It made it into the main show.
Nope,
We did it.
Cut that
Yes.
out. Cut
Nope.
that out.
Keep
Cut
it
that
in.
out. No,
Keep
cut
it
that
in.
out. Cut that out. I'm
Keep it
serious.
in.
Cut that out. That
Keep it in. I'm serious.
There is a sanctuary
Nope.
that is the main episode.
It's infected it, and that's
you
fine.
You cannot
That's
corrupt
fine.
it. Okay, you're gonna cut that out.
Continue.
He did not react well to her, much like he had originally acted with Leslie Dunbar. Though, he may still have been reeling from the many sudden changes in his life, including the fact that in his beautiful new home, he had just been given a pony and a bicycle.
What are you talking about? He got a pony and a bike? What?
Okay, so this is a very, very tricky case because on one hand, he did not react well to Leslie Dunbar when he first met her.
Sure.
A little bit of time later, now he is accepted he is Bobby Dunbar, but then we find out it's because, not because, but maybe because he was given a pony and a
Yeah.
bicycle. Which
I
seems kind of
didn't
redundant.
see
Why
it.
would you need a bicycle if you have a pony? I guess you could, oh, you wouldn't ride the pony. What do you even do with a pony? I guess you pet
Well, a
it.
bike you can do like
Feed it some
sick,
carrots.
sick jumps and stuff. Pony not going to do that.
Yeah, I guess
Pony
you
get
could-
mad if you
I
tried
guess you
that.
could do sick jumps.
So were they essentially bribing him? Because I can see him being like, I don't know this lady. I've never met this lady. This lady's going to give me a pony? This is my mom.
It may be too strong to say they bribed him, because I could see that. But you could also say, boy, I thought my kid was dead for 8 months. He's now back. I'm going to shower him with affection, give him all the things that I wish I could have gave him.
Yeah.
Like in the 8 months, I'm imagining they were like, wish I could have done this. I could have said that. And now he's back. It's like, fuck it. I'm gonna give him a pony and a bicycle.
Yeah.
Here's a
Oh,
fire engine
yeah,
covered
yeah.
with flowers.
Yeah. It's treasure hunting day. I feel kind of stupid.
All right, you ready to go? I got one last piece here. Dress for the job you want, right?
Yeah.
Well, don't laugh. You look like Owen Grady from Jurassic World. You happy with that look?
I'm happy with my look. Yeah.
Are you?
I'm actually pretty happy with yours too.
Just think, when they take our picture for the paper, this is what we're gonna be wearing. Originally from Medford, Massachusetts, Elizabeth Short moved to Hollywood, some say in the hopes of stardom. Like many actresses, she had worked as a waitress and a cashier, and had dealt with periods of unemployment as she struggled to get minor acting roles.
That's Hollywood.
That is Tinseltown.
Yeah, that's Tinseltown.
You moved from Chicago here with the same hopes of stardom.
Yeah.
You did also take an improv comedy class as well, right?
I did, to meet people.
You followed
And
the
I
white guy
found-
playbook in LA.
100%. And I'll tell you what, I did meet some of the most insufferable people that I've
At an
ever known.
improv class? I can't believe that.
But they also met me.
And I wish that on no one.
Okay, all right.
All hail the Watcher, end quote.
All hail the Watcher!
Oh, me and my minions, we all did
I've
it.
done it again!
I've done it
Like
again.
my father, and his father before him!
Yeah, one thing I've always said, I've always gone on record saying, all hail the Watcher.
That's true, he has said that. He says it every day
Been my
when he
MO
walks
since
into the
day
office.
one, all hail the Watcher.
Starting-
I walk into Buzzfeed, morning, all hail the Watcher.
All hail the Watcher, and we do the same thing. It's like,
All hail the Watcher?
Yeah, all hail the Watcher.
I've got my big stomach tattoo that says that,
That's
but I don't
true.
want to reveal that right now.
There was HR complaints. One thing to mine from all of this, or to fish from all of this, is that if it wasn't for that pesky little shark, Holmes would have got away with all of this.
Friends murder each other all the time. You know, it happens. That's the way of the world. It happens. You just gotta,
I gotta make some calls.
just gotta watch what you say.
Okay.
Take a hike. You want to see what you many times
You still doing it?
Yeah.
In order to support his new family, Savar's plan was to smuggle cannabis into Iceland. Perhaps consequently, Erla decided the two should live apart.
I'm gonna provide for this family with some of that sticky green stuff.
With some of that good.
Gonna turn Iceland into Greenland, baby.
Despite his fame, coroners misspelled Siegel's name on his toe tag, and his funeral lasted a mere 5 minutes with only about 6 people in attendance. I don't think that's a testament to how popular he was as much as it was a testament to maybe the mob's power.
Get him in the ground.
Well, it's like,
Don't show up.
well, also,
Don't go to that funeral.
yeah, you
Yeah.
know the mob whacked this person.
Yeah.
Maybe don't show up in support of him.
Yeah.
You don't want to add yourself to an ever-growing list.
If I get murdered, nobody come to my funeral.
Don't think you're gonna have to put that disclaimer out. It's gonna happen on its own.
Are you? That's unbelievable. Well, but now that I've put the disclaimer out,
Yeah.
that's the reason why.
There it is.
I don't want anyone at my funeral. You hear
Yeah.
me? Oh, okay. It did. Yeah, it was good. It got a little rough.
Yeah, it's a little rough.
Interesting that he would go through the theatrics of wearing a mask.
Yeah, anytime someone wears a mask and it's a serial killer situation, you wonder, did they intend to maybe let them go? Because the only reason why you're wearing a mask is so that they can't then identify you later.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
If a killer approached me and he had a mask on, I would feel a little bit better about my chances of surviving. Because if he walks up with a gun and you could just see his face, like I could see it's your face, I know that's probably the last thing I'm gonna see. And right now I actually thought of staring into those dead cold eyes. And if that's the last thing I see on this earth, I made some mistakes along the way.
Yeah, I'd say so. And 2, I don't think any articles of my clothing are covered in blood.
No matter what crime comes up, Shane has no bloody clothing at all.
I don't.
Not even a nosebleed?
I was in a church once. It happened in a church once.
Oh my.
I don't go to church. I was just with one of my friends and he was like, you want to go to church? And I was like, all right, man. I was like 9.
So you're telling me at 9 years old you don't go to church. The first time you cross the threshold into holy ground, blood expels from your nostrils.
Yeah. They ran out of tissues. Mopping that up. It was wild.
It sounds wild. Dean had been correct the entire time. The kid the police had dumped on her was not her missing son, but instead Arthur Hutchins. After Arthur's mother died, the boy ran away from his father and stepmother. He was hitchhiking around the US when in a DeKalb, Illinois cafe, someone told him he resembled a missing boy from Los Angeles. When he was picked up, juvenile authorities were skeptical about his story, but police were so desperate to close the Collins case that they insisted on its veracity. As for why Arthur lied, the 12-year-old told authorities he wanted to go to Hollywood to meet cowboy actor Tom Mix.
I love this boy.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong. You can't indict this boy for being an opportunist. Like,
Well, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. This is a beautiful story for him. I really love this kid's moxie because he's sitting in some rundown cafe in the middle of the cornfields. Someone walks in and says, hey, you look like this missing kid. And he goes, is that so?
where's he from?
From Hollywood, you say? Get the cops in here. Cops come in, he's like, yeah, I'm that boy. Send him out to LA. He's gonna meet his favorite cowboy person, but they're like, well, first you have to go hang out with this crying woman for a while.
That's probably why he was so grumpy.
Of course!
Because he was like, I just want to meet Tom.
Yeah.
You got this like wailing
It's like,
woman
can we please go to the movies?
Culminating in late 1888 when Vincent famously severed his own ear and wrapped it up as a present for a sex worker. The day after this eerie occurrence.
You like that one?
Yeah, he liked it. I loved it too. Cheers.
That's a long time. I know they had the private eyes working on it, but 6 weeks feels like a casual pace.
What are you gonna do? I mean, she was 25 years old. You would
She
think,
could have run away, maybe?
when a 25-year-old goes missing, you're not thinking she must have run away. You're thinking, yeah, she's probably doing stuff because she's 25 years old.
What do you mean by stuff?
I mean, when we started this show, I was 25.
Yeah.
If I went missing for like a week, do you think you'd be alarmed, or would you
I
rejoice?
think so.
That's nice. I didn't think you'd be alarmed. I think you.
You're my friend.
I don't like how you said that. You said it with. Like,
You're my friend.
Why are you yelling at me? You're my friend.
You're my friend.
Oh God.
I would be concerned if you disappeared. And we'd get a pretty baller season out of it. Because it'd just be me being like, I don't know, what do you got? Anybody seen it?
That's another thing too. I've always wondered with graves, like when people leave things at the grave, like flowers or even like food or things that they liked.
Yeah.
If you die, isn't your grave like one of the last places you'd want to go check out?
I mean, that's where your body is, maybe your spirit
I
resides. I mean,
suppose.
Dia de los Muertos, it's like the cemeteries become like a fun...
That is true.
I saw Coco.
It's just I don't want to hang out at a cemetery if I'm coming back to Earth to
But the
check
cemetery
things
should be a
out.
happy place. Let's make
Maybe.
them happy places.
I'm just saying that most times ghosts haunt the house that they were in or where they died. They don't go
Or
to
wherever's convenient for the story. Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna rip that mustache off your face.
I'd love to see you try.
But here's the thing. You put a bunch of rich people together, oh, there's gonna be some murder. All rich people are murderers.
What's fancy coming from you and your silk turtleneck here?
$11 on Amazon.com.
He's-
Anyway, yes, safe
Yeah.
to say all rich people are murderers.
I don't think that's what this case is
Okay,
about, nor do
agree
I
to
think that's
disagree.
a factual statement.
Agree to disagree.
Okay. Yep. Drink your coffee. Drink it. Go ahead. Oh, you son of a... All right, Leo, let's just get into this.
One of Todd's early contracts involved a clause that specified her weight at the time of signing, 122 pounds, and that if she gained more than 3 or lost more than 6 pounds from that mark, the contract could be terminated. Hollywood's concern with her weight resulted in Todd becoming addicted to diet pills.
Not good.
It's bad. Don't do it. Don't just eat body positivity. I got it out there. Hey,
You nailed it.
hey, love your body every day. Wake up, smile,
That's right.
wink at yourself in the mirror. Grow a mustache if you got
It
it.
doesn't shock me, actually. Now, I don't know why I was shocked by you not being alarmed by a
It's
human
different
skull.
though when it's a skull, because it's like, well, it's just a funny skeleton. It's a funny bone man.
It was a human's head.
It was.
Now imagine a skeleton with hair coming out of it. How scary that is. You ever think about that? Does hair go through the skull, or does it come from the
Nope,
top?
Absolutely not.
How does
Do
it
you
start?
understand anything about science?
I don't.
Or,
How does
oh my-
where does hair start?
Do you think it starts in the brain, Ryan?
Yeah, it starts in the
it
brain.
goes
It
through the
goes
skull.
through the brain. No, but what part of the epidermal layer is it on? Like, is it just like?
I don't know, but it's above the bone.
Then why is it sometimes on the skull?
What are you talking? Because it's connected to the skin that is connected to the
No,
skull.
but the skin is gone. That's what I'm saying. And I've heard that sometimes the hair is stuck into the skull.
That's not true. Does hair grow through the skull?
Richard and Betty Knitter told the police they saw such a man near the Shepherd's home around 3:30 to 4 o'clock a.m. on the morning of the murder, which lines up with Marilyn's time of death at around 4:30 a.m.
Just really quickly, I don't know why it didn't occur to me till now. What are Richard and Betty Knitter doing up at 3:30 and 4 o'clock in the morning? they have the presence of mind while doing that to look out the window.
Maybe they're freaks, man.
It looks like a bushy-haired white form.
Maybe they're like freaks.
Or they're like
Maybe they're
against
like-
the window,
Yeah,
and they're
yeah,
like,
yeah,
look
that's
at
what
the
I'm
neighborhood,
saying. Yeah,
look
yeah,
at the
yeah,
neighborhood while
yeah.
we do it. Who's that guy? I don't know. And just right back to sweat time.
Wrinkle, wrinkle, wrinkle. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about sex.
I just know from my own personal experience, when I hear a bump in the night, my immediate reaction is not to go to the
You
window.
go, oh,
No, what happens is...
phantom has entered my home.
Yeah, that's exactly what I talked exactly like that.
Boop, boop, boop. Hello, is this 911?
And I have a cartoon phone, too.
The devil is here. Send God.
These strong green-haired creatures are thought to live in caves and sink ships in order to drown sailors. According to legend, if the lighthouse keepers encountered a clan of these sprites, their only hope for survival would be to have the last word in a rhyming duel. Do you not love the idea that the only way, and I repeat, the only way you could survive a sprite is if you beat them in a rap battle?
That's a lot.
It says the last word in a rhyming duel.
A rhyming duel. Okay, so here we go, Ryan. Well, I'm a sprite. And
That's your impression of a sprite, just you saying I'm a sprite?
well, I'm a sprite and I've come to your island, and if you want to live, you're gonna have to beat me.
You didn't even rhyme the first two sentences. You said I'm
No.
gonna do it in a rhymey way.
Oh, I thought you had to rhyme with what I say.
You didn't say like, I'm a sprite, let's
And I'm
test
here
your
to
might.
Okay.
And I'm here on this dark, dark night. Oh, are you in for a fright?
No, I'm
You
not.
better keep it tight.
I'm real tough. And I'll
sure
tell
like
you,
your light.
I've had enough. I sure do like my big, tall light, and I don't like you, sir. Try as I might.
Looks like you gent are heading for the falls. If not, you could suck my blue balls.
All right. I know when I'm beat. Woo!
Papa Rich was the third Panther to escape Swiss prison in 3 months. The other two escaped Bois-Mermet prison near Lausanne in May, after an accomplice threw a sack over the prison wall containing escape equipment and a gun.
A sack. Just throw a sack over the wall. That's funny.
It's starting to make me wonder that they should maybe have a little more security outside these walls if people are just tossing various escape paraphernalia
Maybe they
over the wall.
don't care.
Would you break me out of prison if I got
No.
if I got arrested? I mean, you don't have to answer it that fast.
Oh, sorry.
Would you? I'll ask you again. Take a longer
No.
pause.
No,
it's not the amount of time you say
Sure,
no. Just
sure,
take
sure.
some time to think
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
considering it. Here, man. If I got into prison, would
No.
you? You son of a bitch. Look, it's a trick, obviously, but the fact that no one knows how he did it, pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the
This
point.
is a trick that's over 100 years old. You
Yeah.
would think by now someone would be like, yeah, he obviously did this.
I bet magicians know. They probably just don't tell anybody.
Not from my research.
You wouldn't be able to. You're not part of the league.
The League? I've been to the Magic Castle 3 times.
They let anybody in there.
That's not what they told me. They told me that I'm the only person they've let in the Magic Castle in the last 20 years.
Yeah, yeah. How much did you pay to get in there?
They
Quite
paid
a bit.
me. They paid me.
That's not true.
It's true.
Ryan, is that true?
No. The Anderson household had been described as a strict one, as Cynthia's sister described, quote, "My parents wanted us involved with church, and we were," end quote. Perhaps Cynthia, staring down the barrel of attending Bible college with a boyfriend who was also a part of the church, wanted to see the world apart from her sheltered vantage point, and walking away was the easiest way to do so. As we already mentioned, Cynthia's father had noted her further taking interest in her looks and dieting in the weeks leading up to her disappearance. He suggested these changes may have, quote, contributed to his daughter going missing, end quote. This is a thin line to walk,
A lot of church.
and I didn't want to front load the episode with this, but it seems like it's unavoidable now.
A lot of church.
You can't just keep saying a lot of church.
A lot of church.
I mean, it would,
Church. What are you doing Sunday? Church. Tuesday, church. Wednesday, church. How about some church? Want to do some more church? What's your boyfriend like? Well, he likes church. What do you guys do for fun? Church.
it's true, it's a lot of church.
What are you going to study in school? More church. We study Bible. Unfortunately. So
Moderation.
what are you going to be doing for the rest of your life? Just church, church, church?
Moderation
I'm
is key.
out of there.
Moderation is key.
I'm bleaching my hair. I'm plucking all my eyelashes out.
That's crazy.
I'm
man.
getting out of there, man.
Two crew members in particular, German brothers Volkert and Boy Lorenzen, were seen as suspicious, as unlike those aboard, none of their belongings were discovered on the ship. Later testimony, however, would reveal that was because their belongings had actually been lost in a prior shipwreck earlier that year.
Kind of weird that, I guess shipwrecks were just common. You would think that's like a one and done situation where.
I mean, think about how often car accidents happen.
True, but I feel like a shipwreck is a little more absolute, no? And yes, these two could have been mutinous. However, I will say if they are pirates and the only thing missing from the entire ship was their belongings, pretty historically bad pirates in terms of bootying things. Could you use that as a verb, bootying, stealing booty?
Well, you have.
I did it.
I have a hard time imagining German pirates. I don't know why.
I mean, I'm gonna ask it and it's probably going to be a disaster, but I now have to hear your impression of a German pirate.
Hello.
Look, obviously this guy is a dum-dum. The vigilante Smith.
Yeah.
But he seems to feel remorseful that he just killed a man in cold blood on the street because he thought he was a phantom. So
Do you think, though, when he got there, he was like, I think I've killed the ghost. And the other guy was like, oh, yeah? And he was like, yeah. And he had a sister. He was leaving his sister's house. Yeah. And, you know, he had a heartbeat. He said, don't shoot, I'm not a ghost.
it just slowly dawns on him.
Maybe we should go check on him, huh? Have I done a whoopsie?
I know now I turn on the porch light to ward off would-be intruders and to let them know that I mean business and I have a katana
I
inside.
was going to say, you got that katana drawn
That's-
and ready.
And the thing is, it's a warning, but it's also an invite because they open that door and you're there. He doesn't sleep.
Oh no, I'd be waiting there and I'd be like, I've been waiting for this moment.
Welcome to your end. The quick like, and you're like, did he twitch? And then suddenly, you just slide.
I love that moment in any samurai film when someone does like a quick movement and you're like, did he miss? He didn't.
Bergara never misses.
I never miss.
No. Except when he hunts ghosts.
Perhaps because she had checked in under an assumed name, Mrs. Teresa Neal.
She's good at coming up with fake names.
Shall I remind you what the name of the mistress was?
Teresa Neal?
It was Nancy Neal.
Nancy Neal. Okay, cool.
That may come in later, just saying.
I mean, also just smart to, use real names as your fake names, I guess, right?
That's true.
Because if anytime you try to come up with a fake name, it sounds like something stupid, like Ricky Goldsworth or something.
That's the dumbest name I've ever heard.
Anyone who comes
Watch
up
your
with it.
fucking mouth.
What'd you say? Whoa, dude, that was weird. You all right? Ryan?
Oh. No, it's crazy to check in under a fake name.
Surveillance video from October 7th showing a suspect with permed hair, glasses, and a baseball hat placing something on a shelf where poisoned candy was later found. Unfortunately, the camera was bad, the lighting was poor, and the security tape hadn't been changed for over a year, meaning the quality of the image wasn't great. Images of this man, known as Bideo no Otoko, or Video Man, were released to the public, but he was never found.
It's a creative name.
Really went all out.
That would be our superhero names. Video Man, Content Boy.
Ghost Man.
Well, I don't know if they'd call you that.
Sometimes when I get so angry, my body just shuts off, and that's what happened there, and I rebooted. You're lucky I have that function.
Yeah, truth hurts.
The next day, a missing persons report was filed with the NYPD, and his vanishing became a nationwide story. When someone didn't show up for something, people would say they, quote, pulled a crater, end quote.
Now here we're getting into the point where obviously people were having a little bit of fun with this.
Well, that's all you could do. Someone goes missing, you have a little fun with it.
Yeah. What would be the equivalent of pulling a Shane? You know?
Maybe like taking a nap in the shower.
That, or being a D-bag.
You've gone for a more cutting route.
Having trouble fitting through doors.
What would
because of the head.
Bergara be? Sort of shitting your pants in Thailand?
It was Singapore.
Oh, sorry.
And maybe, yeah.
Okay. If something tragic happens to me, you know, even if it is very suspicious, don't even bother talking about it. Just move past it. Talk about how much I loved my funny little cat and Sarah. And Sarah, sorry I put Obi first there.
But then conspiracy theorists will say that you were being coerced to say, don't look into my suspicious death. And then they will in turn look into your suspicious death.
Conspiracy theorists are a bunch of fucking losers. If they made the equivalent of $200 million off of this, then they could have paid everybody on the plane a fair amount. They probably already had a lot of money.
Like, we'll give you each $5 million. Now, this may mean nothing. I do want to say that the rest of the people on board did live comfortably after. Not like outrageously, they got to keep up appearances and such. How much would it take to buy you?
I honestly don't think I would receive money for the
10
death
million.
of my friends. No, I don't think I wouldn't do it.
20 million.
I wouldn't do it.
100 million?
I'll take it.
That's what I thought. I'm actually honored that it would take 100 mil for you
It would take 100
to
mil.
not give me away.
100 mil. But, you know what though? I would let them pay me off, and then I would thwart their plan.
Oh, but then they'll kill you.
No, they won't.
Why not?
Because we teamed up. And we fucking killed them, bro.
And you know what happens when you fucking mess with the stool boys, you get covered in shit.
That's right. You done stepped in it.